mga kap! Welcome to In My Toolbox, your weekly talk show for your personal finance here only at PHLV Radio. Of course mga kaibigan, the goal of this show is to give you financial information that you will be able to use on your day-to-day financial decisions. We will of course unbox topics that hopefully will be able to aid you and guide you and maybe even add to your financial tools. And we will tackle important information mostly not taught in school, but of course, so much needed to empower you financially. So mga kap, as usual, in any idea that will transpire in the show, always consult with your financial advisors, insurance professionals, tax consultants, and etc. Okay guys, my name again is Enrico Pobre. I'm your host. I'm a sales marketing trainer, an entrepreneur, and a financial professional as well. Basically, mga kaibigan, ito nakakailang episode na tayo with regard to, financial tools, financial informations, etc. Definitely, pwede na po kayong bumalik dito sa PHLV. Search nyo lang. We have a lot of topics already that was shared to you all this months. So, again, my name is Enrico Pobre. If you want to get in touch with me in any which way you want. Just Google my name, Enrico Pobre. Definitely you will find me there. Or you can email me at enrico.inmytoolbox@gmail.com. Ayan naman mga kaibigan. Alam nyo, holiday na! Sus ko, kailan pa ba? Siguro nag-start nung bear, September 1. Pero what I'm trying to say here is, in previous episodes and probably few more episodes before the year ends, I will still be talking about, about your holiday spendings. And for this time naman, ang pag-uusapan natin is paying off holiday debt. Ayan. Pero before yan, ngayon pa lang, igigreet ko na kayo ng Happy Holidays o kaya Merry Christmas. Ayan naman ha. Naalala ko nung bata ako mga kaibigan, I always love, when to spend Christmas in the Philippines kasi pag naamoy ko na yung amoy ng Christmas, alam niyo, right? O kaya yung nararamdaman niyo na, medyo malamig na. I'm telling you guys, it's a good feeling when I was growing, about Christmas and this holiday season. So, as well as I'm very, very excited because when you think about holidays, of course, it will talk about shopping. Yan na. Parties. So kayo, I don't know about you guys, what's your favorite shopping spot in the Philippines? Dito, sa Las Vegas, or wherever you are right now, guys. Think of your favorite shopping spot. Diba? Lagi kayong may go-to, Sometimes people look at Christmas or holiday season, oh, this is shopping season, really. Totoo yun. Or this is you can actually even think of, or this is a party season, So you go to friend's house, or you go literally to huge parties. You go here to Las Vegas, the party city of the world. You can come over here, wherever it is. You think of parties. Parties. It's a fun party. I want to be there. I prepare for that. People buy dresses for that. They really are preparing for those, or even as simple as a simple gathering of families. You can call it a party as well. Or people use this to travel as well. Before when I was new here in the U.S., whenever it's holidays, I make it a point that I get out of my city. So I go to other places as well. So there's a lot of things that will remind you about holidays. Yung mga iba nga they're looking forward to New Year naman. Kasi in the Philippines, when you celebrate New Year there, oh my God, the fireworks is something that you would be expecting when you spend New Year there. So again, holidays really about spending is part of it. Sure, it's fun, really. And some people doesn't even care how much they spend. Some people, they budget it. They have what you call your budget for holidays. But if you're not really careful of doing this, it could potentially be pretty easy to go over a little or more of on your budget, right? So ganun lang naman yun eh. Sometimes, especially if you're a giver, oh my God, you just want to, every little thing that you see, oh, I want to give it to this one, I want to give it to this one. You find all the reasons why you would want to give it to somebody, right? So, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but again, you would want to, of course, just spend the money that you have. Ganun naman yun eh. And I think everything that I'm telling you right now sounds really, really familiar, And if that's familiar, definitely it's an indication na hindi ka nag-iisa. You're not alone in that situation. Especially now, it's holiday season, the heart, the love, of giving, being with people, connecting with people. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But do you guys know, in an average here in the United States, there's about $1,300 in debt, holiday debt, of every person. Can you imagine that? Because of holidays, a person increases their debt $1,300, and they call it holiday debt. So which much of this is actually geared towards the credit card part. Majority of that 1,300 is actually in the credit card, expenses, and that's the reason why most people after holidays, they think of, how do I pay off this holiday debt? Kita nyo, because of of the holidays, there's a huge effect of increasing a person's debt. Minsan we buy things that's not really priority. That's the reason why we're talking about, hey, we need to have a good plan for holiday spending. Kaya when January comes, of course, this is already a time to think of, how do I pay this debt? And of course, this debt will be carried over from a previous debt. Especially if you have debts before the holiday, that will be an add-on to it. And then definitely, not only the principal that you owed, it's also the interest that you'll be paying on top of it. So I know, we think of that when holiday comes, but then again, because of our heart of giving, we would want to make other people happy. Some people would even think, okay, I'll just think about this problem when the time comes, right? All I have to think about today is how to make other people happy. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. It's just about, us to be aware of these expenses and how to pay these expenses. Half of Americans plan to pay all this debt, in 3 months, right, after the holiday. Well, that's good. And 8% said that it would take 4 months to pay off the debt. And 16% said that it will take more than 7 months to pay for it. And 15% said that 5 months is a good time to pay for all of this debt using a minimum payments. And that's the thought process here when you have holiday debt. But again, the goal really is, if we can afford not to have debts, of course, in holiday, let's do that. But then again, statistics says, we really end up having $1,300 as debt. But when you have a debt, try to reduce it as fast as you can, or pay it off as quickly as possible, because if you do that, it will actually save you more especially on the interest of that you will incur from that borrowing. And not only the interest, because of, when you have a debt, some people, creates financial anxiety. Remember, we talked about financial anxiety before. It creates a financial stress, as what we talked about before, right? So, on this holiday debt, it's already given that, most people will have that. Probably one thing that, to put in mind, only spend what you can afford in cash. Again, only spend what you can afford in cash. Because one of the best ways to avoid the holiday debt, or if you're in that cycle already that you've been doing for so many years, is to reduce holiday debt and begin it with using cash or creating a budget for gifts. What's my budget for gifts? It's just like white elephant. You remember? Oh, let's have a gift of $20. I know you could give $100 to a person, but if that's 5 of them, that's already $500. So you would want to have a budget for gifts, or even for your house decors. While it feels so good, to decorate your house, to feel the holiday season. But you have to also to know how to manage your funds, or budget your funds on the decoration. Some you guys have seen some houses out there that they really decorate so extravagantly the house that that they have, and put all of these lights, put all of this I don't know what the terminologies are, but you exactly know what I mean, because they would want to feel that festivities and share it with other people in the neighborhood. So, but again, you have to mind as well the budget that you put into your decors. Food, is another thing that you need to think of. What do you usually put in your table, for your food? And again, or traveling, always remember, guys, that only spend what you can afford in cash. And this takes a lot of planning. This takes a lot of saving. I'm not saying don't do it. Definitely go for it. And it's just a matter of being careful on what to put in. Definitely. And it's actually very beneficial if you use cash only when you spend. Credit cards, some credit cards may offer better rewards, better securities, but again, you might want to at the end of the day, you look at the budget that you put in together. So again, at least you want to make sure that you are in control with all of these things. Other things that I can share with you with regard to paying off holiday debt. Pay off debt as early as possible. So wag nyo na siyang patagalin, mga kaibigan. Just want to make sure that when you owe something right now during holiday, I'm talking only about holiday debt, guys. This is not the previous debt that you already have incurred. I'm just telling you about holiday debt. So once you incur this holiday debt, pay it off as soon as possible. I know we have all the excitement of the holidays, and it's easy. It's very tempting to go over the budget, and sometimes you go last minute gifts out. You run for a gift. Oh, okay, na yan. Let's just pay it. Just get over it and done with all of these things. And again, you just also would want to make sure that if you have the capacity to pay it off as fast as you can, as early as you can, well, that will actually help you save a lot of money too. So while it's important to make efforts to stick to your budget, again, the excitement just puts you in a different perspective. But if this happens to you, again, take it as a lesson learned. But again, pay off your debt as fast as you can. If January comes, pay it as quickly as possible. When you look at your January budget, include your debt into it from the holidays, and then you ask yourself, can I pay it within this month of January? So that you're going to be getting hit only one time. With the interest, so that will actually save you a lot of money just on the interest. And of course, when you pay off your debt, well, you don't have to be stressing yourself out thinking of how to pay it, in the future. So the other thing that I can tell you is on this incurring this debt during holiday is apply for the balance transfer card. If you're using credit card, if you have a decent credit, you can actually do this. You may be able to get approved for what you call a balance transfer card with 0% introductory annual percentage rate offer. There's a lot of credit card companies there that does that. You can transfer it to that card with 0% introductory offer. That will definitely work for you, especially if you plan to pay this, for example, 3 months, and they give you an introductory bonuses or 0% interest rate for 6 months or 1 year, that's going to be working on your favor. I'm not saying that to, go out there and add more credit cards, but I'm just saying that there are credit card companies there that can offer you that balance transfer, 0% introductory. In your previous credit card, that's 24%. Now they're giving you 0%. You can pay it off for 3 months to 6 months. That makes a lot of sense, guys. All right. So that alone will be able to help you pay your debt faster. Another thing during this holiday season, cut down on unnecessary spending. Again, we have this what you call our love of giving, and sometimes we just don't think about our budget anymore, and we go a little bit more than that. So, and this is also what you call expensive habits can make it very, very hard to pay off debts. So if you want to make a bigger dent in your balance, so go ahead. So probably if you were giving three gifts before, now probably you would want to give one only. So please, this is what you call unnecessary spendings. But I understand that, there are what you call unnecessary spending when you see, oh, this one is better now. No, this one is better now. You get to buy it. No, this one is better. Before you knew it, you are already spending thrice of the budget that you already gave yourself. You don't even have to buy luxury gifts during the holidays, or even unnecessary items that you would want to add on into decorating your houses. You want to be smart this time, to have a spend down of your expenses. We already understand that we can actually incur expenses, right? So, ano ba yung mga pinagagastusan ninyo? Siguro probably what you would want to do is, before I was buying Ferragamo shoes, probably this time you'll buy, a Nike shoe, So, you just want to make sure that to keep the spirit, yes, the spirit of giving is there, but avoid or cut down unnecessary spending. Or maybe even expenses in the house. You can use that. Cut your cable bill, or trim your entertainment expenses. I remember there's a client of mine before that when I was going through the financial needs analysis, and he was saying, "Hey, Enrico, I do not have extra money." And I said, okay, let me look at your financial needs analysis. And guess what, guys? I saw that there's 1,000 a month of entertainment expenses. So again, with regard to that 1,000 a month entertainment expenses, probably they can cut it a little bit to 500. So that will actually help them save a little bit of money there. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. So, or maybe cook meals at home instead of eating out. That's cutting down unnecessary spending. Or consolidate errands. So instead of keep on driving from one place to the other, probably just schedule it in one day, and then do your errands in just one day instead of going back and forth in 4 days, something like that. Maybe you can forego some luxury items that you put into your groceries, right? Or if you go out for drinks 4 times a month, probably you would want to cut it down one time only. So these are the things that you would want probably to look at just to be able to cut down this unnecessary spendings that you'll be able to pay off your holiday debt. So that makes sense, guys. Or there's something what you call snowball your debt to pay it off faster. Remember, guys, we talked about debt elimination before, one of the episodes that we have, and we were talking about snowball methods. Okay, so the snowball method is a way to pay off debt that helps you get excited about the process because you see more movement forward towards your goal. And what you do here is to list all the debt that you'll have. You want to pay off, and what you do is you pay it off in the order of the lowest to the highest balance. Okay, so you pay off the smallest amount first, and then you go to the next one, make minimum payments on everything but the lowest balance, and pay as much as you can, and then go to the next one. So what I mean is that if you have 10 credit cards, oh my God, look at this. The 9 credit cards, you pay it all, on a minimum amount, but the lowest balance, you pay it off. So that's what it means. Now you go to the second lowest balance. The rest of the credit cards, again, you pay all the minimum amounts. The second amount that has the lowest balance, you pay it off. So now you have 2 credit cards that you paid off already. Now you're back. You're left with 8 ones. So the smallest balance that you get paid off fairly quickly, and then the next one that so you will know what I mean. So you just go from one lowest balance to the next, and then before you knew it, you're actually carrying the amount of money on the previous cards, and you put it again on the fourth card, etc., etc. Before you knew it, guys, you pay off your credit cards already. So that's what you call the snowball effect. Again, I remember we also talked about the avalanche method to pay down your holiday debt. These are just strategies of paying off your debt that you will be incurring this holiday. So this is actually what you call the avalanche method, is the alternative to the snowball method that I just mentioned. So this method is the same as similar to the snowball method, except that you align debts by interest rate. Kanina, we were talking about you look at the smallest balance. Now, on this time, the avalanche naman is you look at the interest rate, which is actually giving you the highest interest on those cards that you have, and you pay off the highest interest first. So that's the avalanche method. And again, by using the avalanche method on all of the expenses, it will save you on interest, because the avalanche method is focused on the interest. So basically, it talks about look at all your cards, all of these cards that you owe from, and look at the highest interest rate, and you pay that first. Okay, on the snowball effect naman method, you look at the balances and you pay off the smallest amount first. Pay it all off, and the rest of the debt that you have, you only pay the minimum amount. So that's the difference between the snowball and the avalanche. Okay, so the other thing that I can share with you to pay off your holiday debt is consolidate debt with your home equity loan. So if you have an equity on your home, you might be able to get an equity. So you might want to check it out with your banker, and to see if you have an equity with your house. So this can actually cover holiday debt. Well, it just makes sense if you have huge debt, that you can use your equity to pay it off. But if it's little, I don't think that's a good idea. But this is a strategy that probably one of you listening today, guys, could be a good strategy. Okay, so depending on your situation, of course, a home equity loan may be able to consolidate more than just a debt related to holiday spending. Again, it depends on how much you really owe, but that's actually another option for you. So home equity options are beneficial because they typically on this home equity loan, they come a little bit lower in the interest rate. Oh, Enrico, the interest rate now is 70%. Yeah, compared to a credit card of 24%, right? So look at that, right? That's an option. So that can save you a lot of money just on the interest alone. So you'll be able to be looking at that difference. Where would you want to pay, the 7% or the 24% of interest rate? So look at that convenience. You're saving so much on the interest alone. So, however, debt is still a debt. It's tied out to your home, I know. So just make sure that you do your math, your due diligence before you jumping into it. But this can be another strategy to pay off your debt, So, you don't want that, the lender would like to get your house because they need to recoup from the losses or what have you. So, or get to talk to a debt consolidation loan to pay off your debt, So if you don't have an equity in your home, or you want to leave your home out of it, that's okay. I'm just giving you some things that you would want to look into just to pay off holiday debt. You might be able to qualify maybe for a personal loan. You would just want to make sure that this loans that you get into has lesser interest rate than the one that you currently have, because that just makes sense. If I'll be asking you which one would you want to be at, the 7% interest rate or the 24% interest rate on a debt, of course you would want to have the smaller one. So you might want to look at that, because you will save a lot on the interest alone. So you just have to do your math and do your due diligence to be able to manage all of this debt that you actually have incurred. Or, you can leverage, the tax refund. Again, February, March, whatever, you would already know if you have tax refund, and you can leverage that. I'm not saying that, hey, you're expecting $2,000 for tax refund next year, so I want to spend it today. I'm not saying that. But then again, you can actually, leverage tax refund too. So if you're going to get a huge tax refund, well, you may want to plan to use that to pay off your holiday debt, as long as you complete your tax return as early as possible. Don't prolong it. So that, the earlier, the better, because you can get your refund sooner. And then again, you can save so much on the interest expense. So there you go, guys. I was just talking about on some strategies that you can actually pay off your holiday debt, because it's not because we are expecting to have debt during the holidays. Just statistics says that definitely it will be an additional $1,300 on whatever your current debt is today. So it's just, it all comes down to you guys, Again, plan ahead for the holidays. Make sure that, you have the right tools. You have the capacity to pay all of these debts. And just for right now, in my toolbox with PHLV, we would want to greet you a Merry Christmas, and a happy holidays to everybody, guys. Again, thank you so much for supporting In My Toolbox. From the bottom of my heart, guys, we will be here next year. We will be here next year to come. I want to say forever, but nonetheless, let's enjoy the episode of In My Toolbox. Once again, my name is Enrico Pobre. Mga kaibigan, until the next episode. Woohoo!